miss me or the vibe been steady going down when with you I'ma save mine. Took me so long, figure out what you want. Every time you're with me, it's a great time. Only way you reach out is with your hand in my pants. You unbuckling, so I gotta go. See what I go from my distance. I got soul, you got chills. Not what you used to, I'm different. You ain't getting in my feels. You should know with me, only got one chance. One behind my back and blew it. Shit is not my style, keep it so low key. What I do don't need to prove it. One thing about me that I know for sure, you will never see me lose it. Never see me lose it. Never, no. Why you even try me? I'm better. It was never that deep, you a stretcher. I'm not hearing you out the recital. You and me when I'm missing the title. Hope somebody been checking your vitals. Spin back to me when you go down a spiral. You should know with me, only got one chance. One behind my back and blew it. Shit is not my style, keep it so low key. What I do don't need to prove it. One thing about me that I know for sure, you will never see me lose it. Never see me lose it. Never, no.
Definitely a rough week for me. Oh, but yeah, it's what it is. Just trying to find my groove again. Last month was a little bit too good, I think. Yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back. I'm just trying to how I say this. So I'm now on a 5 minute. So I'm kind of trying to up my entry screen to a 5 minute, but at the same time, I want to be using somewhat the same techniques on the lower time frame, but I want to focus on trade location more. That's what I should do always. I just got lost in trade ideas, using that 1 minute, trying too much. I should trade less and be more active at my zones, if that makes sense, and just give it more room, let it play out. It's been working in the past, and that's what I should be focusing on. That's why I'm here. I'm just streaming what I'm doing right now. The grind doesn't end on Friday. So then this would have been freaking short potential. Yeah, the thing is, I'm always aware of trade location. I'm just someone that puts on risk, and that's good in a way to you're able to put on risk. But at the same time, if you're putting on risk at spots where it's really not worth it, you're just giving back P&L, and then that will trigger me eventually. That's not good. That should be something to be prevent from happening, if that makes sense. For example, in this profile, this was a very tight overnight profile from last month, the 10th. Very tight session though that I picked out, but let's see what we got here. So basically, for a short, I want to be as close as possible towards and or depending if we trade above the 385 here, I want to see a sweep of the upper levels and then a fail, and then potentially look for entries as close as possible towards that orange line. For a short potential, if this is the overnight range and price is going to stay a range bounce, then you're going to go to the other side of the range. The highest or the best trading spot for me is going to be up here. If you fail trade below 385, as we were basically doing here, I kind of want to be as close as possible towards that 385 level, trade location wise. If you start moving away from this level, damn it. If you start moving away from that level, and let's say like basically in the middle of this range here, and I start seeing setups, yes, it's valid. Yes, there's a probability for a move down, but then overall the move, the expected value of the trade goes down. And I really just need to focus on the highest probability, not the highest probability, because this could fail obviously, but the best risk to reward. That's what I should be aiming for, and just cut the lower expected value trades out of my trading. I think that's what's been going on the last week, 2 weeks. Last month I had one losing day last month, and I think that got to me a little bit, and I was getting involved in trying too much, which I should not be doing. So yeah, back to the basics, sir. I think I picked the most tight session from last month. It's literally the first 5 minutes of the session. Short kind of makes sense here though. that's literally the difference between being profitable and losing money. It's not what we know, because for example, I know more than enough to do a lot of damage to myself. It's just being selective, what's worth putting risk on. The better we get at that, the more money we're making in the end of the at the end of the month. This session is really tight. It looked good for a short up here, but it's this tight. I'm expecting, well, at this point I'd rather wait for one side to sweep and fail. I could speed it up though. Speed it up. So that would have worked, just not ideal. See what happens on the bottom. Wasn't really paying too much attention to the session profiles. I'm putting more of my focus on the overnight. So not really sure what's going on in a higher time frame here. Could be a big move down though. Speed it up a little bit. I'm not gonna sit through all those 5-minute candles though. So at this point, ideal trade location obviously is up here. So I don't want to chase it right here. Kind of looking for a long reversal and or look for a potential reversal or like a momentum play in the direction of current move. So I'm always, or most of the times, always going to try and play a reversal at the bottom of the range. But keeping in mind that we could fail. If I look at the session profiles, there's a lot of way down though. I'm also just picking out random days of the month, so no idea if there's news or anything. This was a very tight overnight range though. Looking like a little bit absorption here, depending how we close and react. Despite invisibility, feeling winning what gives. I think that's the. I was talking with someone earlier, like the road to success. It's always going to be those highs, and there's always going to be those lows, and it's never going to change. I feel we're only going to get better at recognizing those moments, and for example, coming from a high, when there is like the opposite of the high, how do I say this in English? We are able to manage that better, so it becomes a less deep of a crash, quote unquote. Yeah, I think we're just getting better. Same as like managing or like the feelings and the emotions we have when we're in a trade. The more we see it, the better we become at just managing the trade, if that makes sense. It's part of the journey. It's the thing is, when you're on those highs, you're always feeling like you're past it and it never comes back, and that's when it hits you. So yeah. And then streaming it all, that's just everything times 100. So here for me is the key thing. So for example, usually I look at 1 minute chart. Very likely to already been trying to go long, look for longs at these levels. I'm also looking at the 40 range chart, for example, but I'm focusing on that 5 minute here. If that 5 minute closes, we start trading above the prior candle. That's where I'll be looking for entries, just to slow me down a little bit on these plays, to give me the bullets I can fire at the right time. This is the reason why I'm backtesting over the weekend, because I'm using the 5 minute here. Still looking at the same level, still trying to do the same thing, just trying to manage it differently. Yeah, and we do need it. Like I do, like let me see. Wait. Let me see. Maybe I can. Like so, this is my full screen. I usually don't do this on stream because of privacy reasons. Whenever I drop something on screen, it'll get into the screen, which I don't really like. Regardless, I still have that 40 range up from deep charts with the effort. I could use a 1 minute here, potato. I just use this for the momentum. So if I'm trying to be a little bit more quick, I can still use this for entries, but my main focus is going to be on that 5 minute. Like the 5 minutes is putting that pressure down. I'm sure if I would, wait, let me put this on pause. Duplicate, put it in a 1 minute. So already I would have started looking for longs for sure on this level. We're hitting all major levels on the downside here. We find buyers again. We're trading above the spot where buyers are most aggressive in that overnight. For sure, I would have been pushing buttons here, for sure. And yes, that could work. But that's the thing that has been getting me in trouble last week and a half, because the market is different. It's like I'm fighting something. Like I get into good positions, it goes 40-50 points, I put it break even, it comes back, stops me out, then goes again. Like the market is behaving a little bit differently, I feel. And I lose a lot of bullets doing so, or I give back a lot, and I'm trying to slow down in that matter. Yeah, this probably would have been a nice area for long. Yeah. Back to the 5 minute. Yeah, and also the bubbles. I do really like it. They're needed, in my opinion. They give a lot of information. But in market conditions as last week, like I'm just being trapped left and right, and I do get in good areas in positions, and it does give that impulse initially, but it also fails over and over. So now I got the, for example, the big trades here are at 90. The filter is at 90. So it's way higher, just giving me the overall pressure here. So for example, we're on the bottom. There's a lot of red bubbles here, unable to push through. That indicates it's getting absorbed here at the moment. So if you do reverse up, this could be a good level for protection for the trade. And obviously, if you start pushing down, the sellers are in control. So they keep pushing, so sellers in control. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because this could just grind lower for half an hour. Well, we also, oh, we're bouncing. Okay, I want to use a 240 tick stop, which is gonna be, what is it, 60 points? Not gonna trade minis on this next week on my funded, but like 5 micros or something. That's like $600. I'll speed it up a little bit. I want to see that close of that one, that 5 minute. At the same time, yeah, I really want to see that close above. This has also been a thing. Then you get the patience to wait for something, and then it will just go and never come back. Like, I don't want to enter on long here. I use the RTH, the cash session only, but I'm using, this is the thing, like I use weekly in the cash session as a narrative, and I use the overnight, which is this right here on my screen, as for my closest entries. This gives me the latest where the pressure is at the moment. This gives me the best information, I feel. This just went straight up, dude. Like 0 pullbacks. Not even on a 4-day range chart. Brutal. Yeah, but for example, wait, let me stop. So we bounce right there. Wait, let me overlay. So we sweep the lows there, right? Then we bounce. I mean, I could go to a 1 minute. I'm pretty sure, like, let's go to a 1 minute. I'm pretty sure there's no more entries. She just went straight up. Look, straight up. I mean, yes, you could. There's ways to enter, but then that's way too aggressive. Something I don't want to do is chase. This one just straight up, like 0 pullbacks. Not on a 1 minute, not on a 4-day range chart. Just got to be okay with it not setting up. At the same time, the short would have been valid, and that would have been probably good enough to be done for the day. Hammer candle on the 1 minute. So I usually enter on rebalances. So I wanted to see a close above a 5 minute, and potentially somewhere around this area, could be a little bit lower depending on that 40 range for a pullback into that, basically on that lowest candle here. Well, once we close above this turns into demand for me, especially after we swept some liquidity close above. So anywhere in that candle would have been perfect for a pullback, but she just, yeah, straight up. It's literally what wait, let me go back to that 1 minute. Right. 1 minute. Duplicate chart. Same one here, right? But this is in the 1 minute. Look for that pullback in it. Could be the next candle. Could be the candle after it closes, like for an immediate rebalance on that level, for then a push up. But then the stop still should be under the low of that candle, and or there's some kind of aggression order flow wise or something. And or then the pullback here, then start looking for entries long. Literally the same thing, but then on a 5 minute. And then also here she just went nuclear to the upside here. Case to be made to be aggressive once we close back above or in value from that overnight. This, but yeah, not the biggest fan. Case to be made to use structure from the left. This felt valid play though. Valid play. Yeah. Back to that 5 minute. I was still on ×8. This was sped up now. But yeah, this is probably the most tight range or day I could have chosen for a replay. Might look for another day to replay. Very likely stays in range though. From a candle perspective, I would do something like this. I would wait for the close, like right now, and then just enter like this. For example, not the biggest fan here, but top of the range, it's been range bound. It's very likely to do what's been doing the whole time. Speed it up. Strong buyers on this candle, entry on the wick. Yeah, basically on the wick or at the close of that, close open of that candle could be a thing. Midpoint could be a thing, but more focused on basically that area right there. But overall, the highest up closing candle here is the protection candle. I'm just giving an example here. I'm not the biggest fan after this big move up, but this is what I wanted to do on the bottom of it. Just not always going to get that opportunity. Because this turns bullish, especially because we're trading above 385 here. 385 for me is a level where the sellers were most present or active. The price has to trade under that level for strength to close and reject. I'm just looking at it from a range perspective. Probably would have been protecting my entry here though, because you don't want to see bounces right now. Speed it up some more. That would have been a very uncomfortable position to be in. I would have never been in this position that long, for sure. For sure. Stop me out. Also, from this perspective, I kind of needed to be or want to be because I was speeding it up. So it's pretty impossible to get exact entries when it's sped up. Like once it hits that level, I want to be as close as possible towards that level because the next level down, this is where the sellers were most aggressive. Above it is super bullish. So if that didn't fail, it's very likely to, to go back up. And if my entry is like this, like it's right now, it puts me in the worst place. Like for a stop, like the full stop would have been super tight. Like it hit it almost a few times. Like it's not ideal. More ideal would be price closing below delta, bearish, some bearish order flow, and to then short that level. Basically what it's doing right now. Damn, this session, dude, what time is it? It's like 1 hour before lunchtime. Speed it up a little bit more. It's brutal day to trade. I definitely would have protected my stop here. I would have never sit through this whole thing, for sure. It's like a 90-minute trade, dude. Jesus. This is where I definitely would go break even. Seller stepping in here, you want to see they continue, otherwise they're getting absorbed. You want to see strength in the direction of the bubble for continuation. This is a brutal day to trade, dude. This is, how many points is this range? I mean, it's 200-point range, but it's not going anywhere. All right, let's pick another day. Could do yesterday's. I know what's gonna happen, but no, let's not do yesterday's. That's a little bit silly. Let's pick a day. Pick a day. The 19th of February. Nice. Deep charts just shit a bit. Reloading deep charts.
Disconnected.
Yo, what happened? Just give me 1 second to. Dude, why is my chart so messed up? Like, what happened? Jesus. That's brutal to redo this whole thing. Not sure how I did it last time. God damn it, deep charts. Why did you do me like that? Oh, I see. I see what's going on. Alright, let's keep it like this for now. Alright, reloading day 19th of February.
Disconnected.
Thursday, 19th of February. For some reason, deep charts is crashing on me when I try to load that day. Why would you do that? Like, what is going on? Sorry, but Deep Charts keeps crashing, messing up my stream software. That's good for now. Like even my levels just got back. Like what? Didn't save anything. Either way, these were my levels from yesterday. And I got trapped longing because the gap close was a gap close up here. And price kind of opened up bullish. I had the patience to wait for price to trade above 740 here. Went long a few times, 2 times, really good. But just failed, obviously. But then I kept longing when she started pushing against 711. Which still kind of made sense. But maybe one try made sense, but I kept longing it. That was a bad idea. And then overall, trade location wise, longing on top of the range, for me this is top of the range, was just a bad idea. And or we stayed trading above 740 with conviction. That made sense. But then just clean setups to the downside right here. If I just would have had the patience to look at this, you know. Anyway, one more try for, maybe I'll just pick another day. Maybe the 19th is just cursed. Maybe Wednesday the 4th March. Let's do that. Okay, deep charts do not crash. Well, that's good. Let's see what we got here. Distributions on the overnight are also just really messy. Last 2 weeks I feel just it's all over the place. It's like trendy-ish profiles always, because we're like this big down move and then big up move. There's no like fat belt or like fat balance, if that makes sense, with clean distributions on top and on the bottom. It's a little bit harder to spot last 2 weeks. But buy aggression here on the bottom, outside of value, very obvious, big delta. Just putting in, marking out the value area low and high from that session. And then sell aggression wise, it's the only sell aggression I see in this profile is down low. It's basically bullish above these levels. So that might mean there's not going to be any sell aggression because I want the sell aggression to be outside of value. I don't want to put those levels inside. That don't make no sense for me. Deep charts is tripping with those replays. It's not deleting some levels, but this is what it is. That's not even a thing, dude. What is going on with this platform? That's looking more like it. Let's use a little bit of narrative here. So bouncing from the lows, higher time frame, backing value. If price starts trading above these highs, it's going to be looking really bullish. See what happens. Looks bullish, bouncing from that prior value area high, prior range high. If it starts trading above these levels, could be way more upside here. Kind of want to be careful for that. Let's speed her up a little bit. I'm not going to wait for 5 minutes for this close. Two more minutes till the close. $30, buyer stepping in, 10 seconds. Slow it down. It's like a level. This is ideal trade location for me, up or down, but kind of need to pick a side here. Not something I want to long against at the moment. Buyers trying to step in here. Dropping back under 930s, not the strongest here. Favor the shorts until I see something else. That would have been very aggressive. Big candles here though, so could have been a potential short. At the same time, she's very strong here, trading above the prior range high. Not the best structure to short against. But as long as she stays trading under 930s. From a profile perspective, this is not something I should short. I kind of want to put my focus on the closest levels, even though we're trading above yesterday's highs, which is a bullish thing. Buyers pushing it hard here though. I might speed her up. Sellers try to push it, see if they pick it up, the buyers. If price starts failing those red bubbles, that's not going to be looking hot for the buyers. It's also a naked POC that could get tapped here. So the short, I do favor the shorts here. It's not something I want to enter on here. Should have been. I think the closest one was, yeah, at that red level. 240 60 points would have worked. At least a move towards that POC, and then potentially overall a move to the other side of value. It's going short here. She closed under it. it's against those levels from yesterday. Value, price range high. Stop would be in a very nasty spot. If I wanted to go short, I should have gone short. Against those highs, here it doesn't make too much sense. It's so easy for price to bounce. Speed her up. It's taking too long. Buyers try to step in. They're failing. It looks weak at this point. It does look like it wants to hit that POC. Got 10 seconds still to close. It could be a trade idea too. That's not even... That didn't even freaking come back to that entry. This could have been managed very tight though. Like an entry on the rebalance. Right here. And then stop above those big trades. But yeah. That's the thing why I was worried about shorting here. That's why I didn't do it. Because it's at those levels are just... At this point, it becomes very unclear. I still favor downside as long as we are under these levels here. So again, that level could have been a level 4 entries, but the narrative from yesterday's session is bullish. So it don't make too much sense to go short here. Although it makes sense from a structure point. Also could have missed the trade right here for long. Also, she closed bullish. $240 ticks made sense. 60 points. Bouncing from yesterday's highs. Value. That probably was the play to be made. She just has to trade above 930s here, above that orange level. Otherwise, she's just going to reject again. So it's again a very choppy open here. It's the first half hour of price action is basically going nowhere. It's very easy to get tricked. Yo, Luffy. Yeah, it's been a rough week, sir. It's been a rough week. So the longs win the game. What makes sense from yesterday's profiles. Trading above yesterday's range is bullish. At the same time, she has to keep trading above that 930 level. And this is why, this is exactly why this is a rough trading environment. Because up on open, there's just no drive. Most of the time she's just chopping around for the first 30 minutes and then she's moving. And by then, a lot of damage could be done already. So it's a market that requires patience and precision. Overtrading this market is not ideal. My week has been rough, sir. Very rough week. All right, let's say the narrative is bullish from here. Would it be very unlikely for me to go long under those levels after we swept those levels? Draw back in range. Very unlikely for me to go long against those levels in. And then now she confirms up, so now I should wait for a pullback. So I'm gonna fast forward. I'm gonna sit through this whole session. Lots of buying stepping in here. Jesus, just straight up, huh? Delta was super strong here though. And so longs made sense in this area. Could have joined late, perhaps. After we confirmed back above 930s, stay trading above that red box. So entries kind of made sense afterwards too. This area. Maybe on some lower size with a, I mean, 240 points, 60 points would still be good. But then I would be looking for 40 range entries with the effort zone, for example. So if I wasn't long for whatever reason from this area and a retest in it initially, because I didn't trust it, I could have waited for a price to start trading above, show the strength, and then zoom in a lower time frame to potentially get an entry and this area late, because after she moved up, I would not be the biggest fan of after she closes above that red bubble, a retrace into it. Maybe if she closes like this, so that bullish candle closes above that prior wick, above that sell pressure. Next 5 minute basically is a big doji, you could say, but it closes above. It tests that level, that box. It closes above, so it could be an entry on the low of that candle and just protect yourself like this. Could be a thing, could be a very aggressive one. Only like this is like 20 points. 20 points of a risk. I would not give it more. That doesn't make no sense. That could be a thing. If I would be desperate to enter, that would have been an amazing trade, obviously, looking back, but just looking at potential areas to join. I think I remember this session too. We swept some highs from prior days already. This is also the first hour of price action. Where's my IVB? I think I need to speed her up again. It's way too slow. Oh, really? I wasn't paying attention. But again, impulse up. Nothing really I would have entered on like this. Speed her up a little bit. In general, from an IB perspective, I'd be looking for that level. Also, trade location wise, this would have been ideal, long or short. At this point, the closest level I would want to do business is really down low. She's having a lot of support here though. All right, so closing again strong on the lows here, finding support. Red bubbles indicate it's getting absorbed here. Closed bullishly, closed another higher low. Just trying to see if there was any potential. Just not the biggest fan of entering that up high. Yeah, I got distracted there for a minute. Speed her up a little bit, maybe pick another day. This is already lunchtime at this point in this session. Still looks strong. Seller's trying to push it through. It's not getting respected. It's only going to get reversal after we start sweeping that level. I'm going to speed up some more. Sellers try to step in, they fail. Now they push through. Buyer step back in. Let's see if there's something to play here. Just a very shallow pull back there. So now it becomes really tricky. Price super bullish. I do expect potentially to that protection level, which is also going to be somewhat against prior levels. But trade location wise, this is the worst. This is literally the worst. High of the session. Yes, for continuation. Also time of day, this is lunchtime already. Yeah, it's already past lunchtime. So volume drops, all that. Let's speed her up. Rebalance. That could have been an entry. Literally here. Could also manage risk very tight here too. Easy. Trading is easy, isn't it? Definitely would have been break even. yeah, overall, this move from entry till it bounced was like 20 minutes of price action to sit through. Kind of want to see some kind of red bubble. This sped up very quick, very much, very hard. So time of day, there's like no volume. It's already power hour. Right now it's power hour, so last hour of the session. This time of day, you should not be pushing buttons. Right, let's pick another day. Let's see what we got. February. Yeah. First, more coffee and a bedroom break. I'll be back. All right. See what we got here. Let's put a little bit of a narrative towards it. See where the levels from yesterday or the prior session were. All right, so currently open up with a gap to the upside. It's the first 5 minutes of that session. Depends what time frame. I mean, time frame basically don't matter. What I usually do is, if I look for longs, I wait for the easiest thing you could do is wait for a confirmation above. For example, if you look for a long, you look for the lowest down closing candle, and then you wait for a bullish candle to close above that candle, and then potentially a retest on that area, and or that confirmation candle could be a thing. Not sure. Can't see your chart, sir. I don't know what you're trying to do. In a way, entries should be fairly no-brainer style, so you can always just see it when it happens. There's a reason why I'm doing some backtesting, because I need to get back to the basics. And more than not, it's trade location. You can have the best entry methodology. If the trade location is wrong, it's not going to do any good. So I'm always trying to do business around the levels I put in, key levels. It's just it's not an easy market condition to trade last week. She's been giving good setups, but it's also very dangerous to get involved at the wrong times. Gonna speed her up a little bit here because don't want to sit through all of that. So waiting for a pullback. trying to fast forward, but trying to be careful because you could miss it just like that. Everything above that structure is going to be really, it's going to require some precision to enter here. Kind of want to see price push down, create some red bubbles on the bottom, and then show me some strength. Still closing strong above that prior candle. That's a brutal market open. Trying to see if there was anything I could have done. Brutal. Right, gonna fast forward a bit here. This would be the first pullback on a 5 minute, that is. Even though she hasn't been pulling back too much on a lower time frame here anyway too. Then this becomes the IB close. I mean, this is the first 30 minutes. Speed her up. So that looks strong for support. So against these levels, could look for continuation. But then after all, after 150, it's like a 200-point move up. Trade location becomes bad. $20 stop. Not something I want to chase, really. Should have found something more in that area. But then again, that first 5 minutes was just straight up. There also was not really anything going on here, I think. It's very, very shallow pullbacks here. rather wait for somewhat of a higher low. Basically created a local top right here. That's some buy aggression down low here. Sellers in control though. Could be bouncy. I'm gonna wait for a that 5-minute momentum to shift here for sure. Like this right now. Then still need to see continuation. Slower down here. Trade location wise, not ideal, but continuation perhaps. Back towards that IB higher. Not really the close I'm looking for. I would definitely protect myself under that low. All right, let's speed her up again. Looks good. Until it doesn't. This could have been an entry too right here. This case to be made to be a little bit more protective this late in the session against the highs. Just for backtest reasons, I'll keep the stop where the stop needs to be. Sellers pushing it hard here. Super bearish close. Very likely to stop me out. That's the reason why I would have been more aggressive with my trail, especially after we closed bullish. Price retested some levels in that that candle. This candle right here. Bounce, and then in that candle when it was still in that candle failed. So I would have doesn't make sense for me to if price come back to a level and I want to see strength and it initially goes, then that for me becomes a stop or a place to place my stop. So it doesn't make sense for me to like take this full stop. That don't make no sense. If I would have freaking put it under the prior candle, I still would have been in. I think I remember this session. I think this was just flagging out. Let's speed her up. So it was not going anywhere, I think. Let's speed her up a lot. Okay, that's more of a pullback. I like what I see here. Sellers pushing it, they fail. Delta is turning bullish. Somewhat more of a pullback towards the middle of the range. Price kind of flagging out here. So overall, I would be looking for if that would break out from it. Speed it up a little bit. Sellers pushing it. See, kind of want to speed it up one because this is an interesting location. So sellers are pushing it. They're unable to have result. So I do like this from a continuation perspective. If we close bullish and potentially maybe some momentum plays after it, to be really sure, I could wait for a close above that area. All right, let's speed it up again a little bit. So I got 30 seconds till this candle closes. As long as they keep trading above this bubble, I'm looking for that long. Buyer step in, 40 seconds till this candle closes. Can we get a close above 10 seconds, 5 seconds? She closed above. Get me long. So again, an area where I would protect myself more. If it's around my key levels, I would give it a full stop, but I'm already just, it doesn't make sense if price fails and it starts trading below, especially that wick. I could even trail lower under that red bubble somewhat. I mean, it's like a 25-point stop loss on a 5-minute chart. That's not bad. For backtest reasons, I will keep it a little bit wider. If it was real, I would have put it probably somewhere like this. And then overall, looking for a break of that flag. And if she breaks, that would be really bullish. I'll be looking for overall in price action. It's not going to happen probably today, but let's see what happens. Let's speed her up. Seller step in. Does it get defended? Oh man, I should put it under that wick. Huh? These are 5-minute candles that are printing. Damn, this was super choppy, dude. This is the make or break. So we broke the flag, which is bullish. It's gonna have a pullback or not. It's kind of getting late in the session too. This is lunchtime, past lunchtime. I don't know, what is this opening? That's lunchtime. So a big seller tried to step in right here. He's failing, so I should protect my entry at this point. If seller step back in, it doesn't make sense to hold that position. This is very, very choppy. I mean, it's a super bullish open with flag, but then afterwards, like, there's no juice. It's definitely a time where I already should be done trading. Trade makes sense though, but it's taking, this is sped up quite a lot. From entry, this is, where's the entry? Entry is here at 1700. This is already 2 hours of a trade. Maybe speed it up more. Times 100. I think if I remember right, it's just gonna come back and stop me out here. I do remember this session. I don't think it broke out. I don't think. Not sure though. It could. There she goes. Might need to speed it up more. Like this is 200 times speed. Star step in. If we go up, I want to be protective. Can we go up? More up? So I'll protect that position right there. This is end of day. This is like the session is done here. Interesting. Interesting. So from an entry perspective, that looked really good. This just took a long time to play out. Trade location was bad though. I mean bad. From please select this blue line. Thank you. Like internally, if I look at this was good trade location. If I zoom out on the day, it was not that great of trade location. Best trade location is around these levels for me. It's also usually where you get the most explosive movements. Yeah. What time is it? It's noon. Not sure what to do. Not sure what to do. I already done like 7 or 10 days. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. Let's pick a date in February. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday the 13th. That looks good. Oh damn, I was streaming the wrong chart the whole time. And no one says something. That's good. Damn, freaking, what is this session? Jesus. Why even do that to yourself? I think I just explained the best bull flag scenario ever and I wasn't streaming the right chart. That's interesting. Anyway, one more playback. All right, market's open. Opening up in the middle of the overnight range, so I'm not going to push buttons here. Structure wise, we are trading against the lows from yesterday or the day before. So I'm just skipping through sessions left and right. So bias wise, it's a little bit skewed, but from a structure and the profiles and my methodology, it's all the same, potato. Just having the narrative from a higher time frame on your side helps. That's the only thing missing right now, which is fine. Might want to speed her up a little bit so she gets out of the middle of the range. Not gonna do business here. That's a lot of bubbles on one spot. Kind of want to see it push through here. So this is what I like to see, hitting some major levels. Kind of speed her up a little bit because just trying to see what's going on narrative wise here. Trading blind, losing the range from the prior day, bouncing on current low session. That looks good. Jesus, what a bounce. That's a big old candle. Potentially could have been really aggressive with some lower time frames, but straight location wise, I want it as close as possible towards those levels. It's already moving up quite a lot. This was a level to be really aggressive on a lower time frame. See the strength. Buyers first stepping in. This is a really strong move up. And then now we're hitting levels where sellers were very aggressive earlier. I'm gonna speed her up. That was the entry on the lows, but that wasn't an easy entry to do without being really aggressive. That would have been the target right here, this level or the next one. Rejecting it hard, dropping back in range again for shorts against those levels for sure, but again very hard to enter. Like a 40 range would have done it, but those aren't easy entries. What did they do? What day was this? Friday the 13th in February. Jesus. Range bound much? So at this point, I would lose interest for sure. Like I want to do business on the lows. I want to do business on the highs. But once both sides have been tapped and prices trading in between, I'm losing interest. Gonna speed her up. It's very likely for her to stay inside of it. This is sped up times 100. Delta is super bullish. And then only after she starts trading above these levels, look for continuation plays. But we're already like 90 minutes in the session on a Friday, so that probably would not be a good thing to trade. Back in range, back to the bottom of the range. So NASDAQ. I mean, plays to be made, like this same play could have been made. This probably would have been a better short, to be honest. Wait for price to trade above. Fails. Was there any kind of entry? Maybe, but again, very aggressive. And on the 5 minute. But trade location wise, that would have been the best place for price to fail against. And then anticipate a move back into the range. Entry would have been here, super aggressive. Could have waited for this candle to rebalance on that candle, but that's something I don't like to do. Like to do it immediately. After she confirms a local, this is a local top. After she creates a local top, I want to see that rebalance immediately. There was an entry on that 40 range chart. But again, like this price action, I'm speed her up. Very likely to stay inside of that range. But again, short area, even though it fails. So that upper area is just the ideal trade zone, long or short, for me. And then she just goes. Damn, that protection level, Jesus. Yeah, that was a brutal Friday. What's a Friday though? Right, I think I'm gonna call it quits for now. Damn, and I was sharing the wrong screen again the whole time? Dude. Dude. Somebody wake up. Wake up. Tell me I'm streaming the wrong chart. Oh well, I'm not gonna redo that all. I've had enough of backtesting for today, replaying sessions. I think I did like 10. Probably do some more tomorrow, but not sure if I'm going to stream those. All right, I'm going to enjoy my Sunday. Y'all do too. See you Monday. Peace.